welcome back to another episode of SDS. As you can see, the scarves, the flags, and everything is out for SDSFC.
Let's go!
We are ready. The league is officially starting on the 24th of March. Our first game is against John Terry's 26ers. We are coming for you.
Come on. For the SDS.
Yeah! We got the Italian representation as well, so we're really here for it. Got a Somali, the Afghan. We're all here for SCSFC. Let me get into the table before I introduce the topic. We have as my vice captain today, Mr. Fuad.
Hey.
Yeah, you
that colour's nice on you, you know?
Yeah, actually.
That's a good color. That might be your new... It's that grown man swag.
Just your age, they've been telling me, Unc. Yeah. So say no more, 2025, I'm listening.
We're going to leave the best person for last, but we got Ilyas opposite us. And a recurring guest that you guys all know and love. It's Luca. Luca. So Luca, can I trust that your support is with Juventus and SSFC this season?
Of course.
Yeah!
We love that.
But guys, as always, 24th of March is when you should expect SDSFC to play their first game. But let's get into the topic. It is one of your favorite topics. It is a top 10. They love the top 10.
It's a great video.
They love top 10.
When I got a call up today, I said, hey.
What do you like about the video? It's just a fun
I just
topic.
like top 10s.
Top 10s is just
I like
fun.
the opinionated videos.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
them. They're fun.
Everyone has different lists. Like, it's all over the place. I've got a lot of people that's contributed a list, but as you can see by the title of the video, it is the top 10 best performers in the world this season. There are a lot of names that have been contributed to this list. I can confirm it is 21 names that have been contributed to the list.
Who is it?
Sorry, not 21 names. 21 players have been contributed to the list, but 16 people have contributed to the list. There's everyone on the table. I see Fuad, Luca, and Ilyas, and we also got Fuizzi, Sharky, Liban, Star Player, Rinady, Lias, Faisal, Abs, Shaib, Chunks, Alfie, Avi. Not gonna lie, so a lot of people.
I don't like that AV's name is there.
There's a couple of names in there. I was like, I don't know if they should be allowed.
It's the last couple, isn't it? It's the last couple. It's the Alfie and Avi.
I would say Alfie, Shaib, and AV.
Not Chunks. Chunks sometimes, you know.
Nah, we put him in the thumbnail.
Oh yeah,
put him in the thumbnail for that. Put him in the thumbnail for that.
Chunks is in the thumbnail. But yeah, this is an exciting
Good
list.
clickbait.
Like I said, there are 21 players that are in this list. And let's get into it because a lot of people are really excited for this top 10. I know I am. And I know
Let
you're
us know
peeking
your top
around.
10s as well.
Yeah, you're peeking around. You're not looking at my list, are you? No? Okay.
I'm wondering, people at home, I'm sure, will be involved as well.
You're my vice captain, so we're kind of like co-hosting this the top 10.
We've done this before, actually.
No, we haven't. No,
We've done the same thing. This is the first time.
This not host and co-host, by the way.
This is
co-host.
I like this. I
I
like
like
this.
that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
By the way, he is opposite you, but please,
I won't interrupt, man.
there will be no spitting on him.
no spitting.
No spitting, brother!
We call a truce.
In the name of SCSFC.
No spitting!
We call a truce.
We are united.
You know what I mean?
We are united.
This
The
is
colours
it.
have united
This
us.
is it.
But in case you do, Fuad, I got like.
He's got a shield.
He's got a shield. He's got a shield. But let's get into this top 10. I'm really excited to start it. So there are. Let's start with the people that didn't make the top 10. There are 3 joint 16ths. They all have 1 point each.
16?
Yeah. The first one is Erling Haaland. Someone that why are you doing that face? Alfie has put him in
Off of
10th.
this season.
I mean, if you look at it, like
performing
he's- 21 goals in the Premier League this season.
He's been their best
second.
player. He's been
their best player.
Yeah.
Watch him.
By his standards,
Watch him.
by his standards, we're looking like 30, 40 goals. But the
Yeah.
fact he's got 21 goals in the Premier this season has been massively impressive.
For me, you just have to watch him to know he's not having a good season.
So it's an eye test
Regardless
for you.
of the goals, yeah.
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 Well, he didn't make it into the top 10. He only got 1 point from Alfie. So we can move on to the next one. And another joint 16th is Vitinha.
That's a good shout, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that shout.
Yeah.
Only star
Not mad
player
at
had
that
him in at 10th.
No, that's a good
Fair
shout.
enough.
I think definitely for the Champions League run they're on as well. He's played a huge part.
I think he's the most important midfielder in that midfield.
You could argue that.
Yeah.
I think
Arguably, yeah.
I think even last season he was kind of the key cog, and you've got obviously Zaire Emery and Neves kind of around and keep him busy, but he's the kind of constant within it. But
Yeah.
But like Stars does.
I'm different today.
where did Stars have him?
Huh? Stars had him at 10th.
Okay,
The only person to have him on the list, isn't it?
Only person to have him on the list. And the final joint 16th that only had 1 point, actually someone on the table had him in at 10th.
I think
scared.
yeah,
Oh,
it's me.
I think it might be me.
I think
It is you.
Oh,
It
really?
is Ryan Gravenberch.
Come on, how can you guys not have Gravenberch?
I'm more surprised that he.
How can you not have him in?
And the guy who says he should buck a
He did the last 3 games, but
Do you know what this is proof of?
Yeah.
My work here is done.
Oh, that's what it
My
is.
work here. This is proof of my work.
Shoot.
Sometimes you just gotta sit back and let the work be done. The
And
guy
this
who
is
was
it.
a non-believer is the only believer.
Oh,
My work here is done.
Are you surprised that you're the only one out of
actually
16
surprised.
lists? You're the only one that has Gravenberch in. And at 10th.
no one expected him to start for Liverpool this season.
I agree.
No one expected Liverpool to arguably win the Premier League at the moment. They're 12 points clear.
12 points clear at the time of
They were top
recording,
of the table in the Champions League. Of course, they did get knocked out to PSG, but regardless of that, his run this season up until the last 4 or 5 games, he's been arguably one of the best midfielders in the world.
Yeah.
So for him to not be in the top 10 for a lot of people, especially you, Fuad, I'm shocked at that one.
No,
I thought you would have had it much higher up.
His work here is done.
Yeah.
100%, but I'm not also going to overlook like the fact that it is a team role and what he is a part of. Soboslai's playing out of his skin.
Yeah.
McAllister's consistency gets overlooked. And I do think, listen, he is one of the best players, but when I look at my list, I'm like, I think every person here, they would have a solid case, and I'm typically sure nobody else has defenders on their list. I have 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
It's a case of
It fits the brand. It fits the brand.
it's kind of like someone had to be sacrificed, and he was one of those like 11th, 10th, 12th place. I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I've done enough prop. But the fact that you're here running the prop for me,
It's actually poetic. That is
It's poetic, but I'm a big fan of number 6s, and I feel like he does the role really well.
Yeah.
And the way he plays,
And
is
I would
like,
even say,
glides.
even like the past couple of weeks where his kind of form has dipped off, you could say a real midfield. I would say, bro, you look at the minutes he's played this season,
Oh
he's
my God,
already
yeah.
completed a Premier League season. He's arguably the one player who they don't have a like-for-like replacement on. Only Endo kind of gets the last
And he only
10
comes up
minutes.
for the last 10
Bro,
minutes. Yeah,
them
exactly. Yeah.
Hamstrings are cooked.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
He's
so
tired, bro.
when he bucks a Vitinha and a João Neves, brother,
it's a long day.
Everyone's having those
It's a long day. Or a physical midfield of Newcastle. It's a long day.
that's
Joe Linton punching you up and then Guimaraes giving you in the ribs.
Yeah.
Brother, come on, man.
But all those 3 players, unfortunately, didn't make it into the top 10. All decent shouts, I would say. I really like the Gravenberch one. But let's go up into the joint 15ths. And these players only have 2 points each. The first one, I'm surprised that not a lot of people have him because he's written himself in Real Madrid folklore this season. He's actually one of
Rodrigo.
the biggest Real Madrid best performers. Is Julian Alvarez.
Ah.
Yeah.
That
The
was a good
reason
one.
that they're in the quarterfinals
That was a good
is
one.
Julian Alvarez.
That was a good one.
Good introduction.
That was a good one.
That is nasty for me.
But they're not in the
brother.
quarterfinal, though.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You just said they're in the
Yeah, I mean,
quarterfinal.
as in, sorry, Real Madrid
Yeah.
are in the quarterfinals. That's what I meant to say.
He tried it. He tried it.
He's quick, you know.
He enjoyed his joke too much.
Yeah.
I hear
I
it.
got too horny.
Got too carried away.
Yeah, I got too carried away.
He eliminated his own team. I love it.
Fuizzi and Shea are the only people that had him in 10th. So, yeah.
I'm
Julian
not
Alvarez
mad
at
at
10th.
Alvarez shot.
Yeah.
I think he's been a good player, but he's not lit
I
up
think in
La
terms
Liga.
of
He's an
Yeah.
outside shot.
Yeah.
He's one of those kind of like pound for pounds,
Yes.
especially
Yeah.
when you look at kind of how much he's done for Atletico this season. But then I would say Soloff as well has come in clutch.
Yeah.
Griezmann's
Yeah.
played a big role, but he has definitely been the kind of needle mover for them.
Yeah, he's been good this season. And the other person that's in joint 15th, only one person has him in, and he had his man at 9th. It's Joshua Kimmich.
Come on, guys.
Resurgence year,
Yeah.
well done.
Who's
been good,
put him in? Stars.
but
Huh?
Stars.
No, it's actually a guy who also hosts SDS with us.
Faisal.
No,
Lias.
the original host.
Sharky.
Sharky, yeah.
I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
I know
He just
what he's
signed his
doing.
contract, so he's not trying
He just signed it.
Yeah.
I thought he was a free agent. I thought he was doing. Maybe Sharky didn't know. Maybe Sharky didn't know.
Yeah, I think Sharky's trying to do prop for
He's trying to do
Kimmich.
prop. So when we signed him, if we did sign him,
I was ahead of the curve.
I knew.
Sharky, is this true?
Wow, Sharky. We
See
see you.
that?
We see you.
But yeah, Joshua Kimmich, like he has had a good season, I would say.
Resurgence,
Yeah,
no,
definitely resurgent season. Maybe an outside shout for a top 10. I just wouldn't personally have him in my top 10. But that's the joint 15th. Once again, we go into the next one, and it's joint 14th now. There's a lot of joints going on. And these 2 players actually are, let me just quickly check, they actually have 9 points. So, like, female people.
voters,
Yeah, couple voters. The first one is my lookalike here. Mr. Alexander Isak is in joint 14th.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at an outside
And actually, one
shout.
person on the table has him in, and it's Luca, who has him at 10th.
Interesting.
Fuizzi has him at 7th. Lias has him at 8th. Abs has him at 9th. And AV has him at 10th. So everyone has quite
I
low.
had him like around that kind of. It was him, Gravenberch. There was 1 or 2 others as well that I was like, I don't want to let recency bias kind of influence me too much.
Is it recency bias? He's been doing it the whole season.
Good
Yeah.
all season. And I've said the biggest thing with him is throughout his career, if you get one fully fit season from this guy, you proper see what he can fully do. And this season, you've seen him up against the best defenses against you guys, against Liverpool multiple times as well. He's just gone and ragdolled their centre backs basically. You got him doing signature setup, bro. That might be the coldest celebration in the game. Haaland, Højlund doing all this and like, bro, kick racks.
And it's the face he makes. He just goes,
Get him the fuck out of here! You know what I mean? Like, bro, it is so cold. And then his overall play to go with it as well.
Yeah.
The link up, he can run in behind.
Is that the main reason you had him in then?
I had him in there for a few reasons. Obviously, his numbers are ridiculous, but I think he's an imposing attacker where, like, even the top defenders have a hard time defending against him. The Salibas, the Gabriels, the Van Dijks in the Premier League. He kind of reminds me a bit of Drogba in the sense that, like, he's a bit inevitable in the big games. You know he's going to turn up. You know he's going to score. And, like, bro, when you take Newcastle to their first trophy in almost, like, 60 years, you got to pay some respect there. And he played really well in the final. Obviously, he did the iconic celebration. Which I think is a bit harsh on Van Dijk, to be honest.
Massively coveted this summer as well. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna leave, in my opinion. But
I don't know. It's hard because like there'll be teams sniffing around him. 100%.
150 million. Do you think they can spend that?
I think the only team possible is PSG.
PSG and
Yeah.
PSG.
And if
that
they don't
front
get
three
if they
would
don't
be
get
big.
Champions League as well, Newcastle, I can see PSG knocking on the door,
saying,
"Hey, Isaac, here's a nice bag for you."
I could see that, but I think he's got his eyes on staying in the Premier League. I think he's come to Newcastle as well, where I think now that they've got their first silverware, I think this summer will actually be harder to pull him away. One, because Newcastle will demand an even higher fee because people are thinking 120 mil should do. That's gone up to about 150 now or 180. And then, I don't know, maybe there's a nice little project there. If they can add a couple of pieces over the summer, him, Bruno.
And keep their team as well.
They can build a little bit of a dynasty. And if they can qualify for Europa League this year, make a strong Europa League run next year, that's another trophy to tick off. They can almost start a literal dynasty here, if you like. So, and for a fan base and a club that is as big as Newcastle, they've almost been waiting for this. And I feel like that trophy now is just going to kind of scratch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you scratching it.
Did you do that on purpose?
I didn't mean it, but you know what I mean? It's in the flow of things.
We said it on the roundup, but I feel like this is like the Man City's first trophy.
Yeah.
Now they smell blood.
Yeah.
And now they can spend.
You remember when,
Let's go.
I think Levi said it. Now the project starts.
Tevez was there. Company was there. Those early guys, they really bought in. And I feel like, bro, listening to Bruno after that, I think he is locked in.
Yeah, I don't think he's leaving.
He loves
you know how
Newcastle.
South Americans are. Once they lock in, they lock. He's saying, I want to be like Shearer.
Joe Linton's probably going to stay. Isaac he's going to be a key one.
Anthony Gordon as well.
I think the only one that might leave is Tonali.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I feel like he misses.
Yeah, he might go back.
I think he'll come back to us. I actually have a little bit of a bold prediction here. I think he'll come Juventus and Douglas Luiz will go Newcastle. I think it could be like a swap plus money type deal. I think.
He's paying the money.
I feel like Newcastle fans will hate that. I feel like that'll be it.
They would.
Looking at it, it doesn't look like a good deal. Because Douglas Luiz hasn't played much, and then you've got Tonali. And then you've got Tonali, who's as soon as he came back into the lineup and his first season,
but then you also
been
know
really
Douglas
good.
Luiz in the Premier League is almost like a proven product.
Yeah,
where
that's
coming
the
back
thing.
into
It's a weird one.
environment,
Could
it be a win-win for both sides? For me, I would question if Tonali would want to leave. I think he's another one of those with a bit of a point to prove. Since coming back from the ban, he's been good. Now you've got that first trophy. I think he owes Newcastle fans at least like one more season.
He does
I'll be
a
honest
lot.
with you.
Yeah. From like Tonali's perspective, though, I just think he's destined to play Italian football. I think like his career is written out in
He's
Italy.
definitely due.
I think he's good enough to play
But
Premier
here's the
League.
question: how long did people say that about Verratti?
That's the saddest thing.
You know what I mean?
He never played a game.
Never played a game.
He never even played a game.
Serie A.
In Serie A. He never
It's
played.
crazy.
Went from
Serie B to France to Qatar.
That's the saddest thing, man.
He said, "Yeah,
That's true.
Well, it's like he unfortunately didn't make it into the top 10. And then other person that was joint 14th of him is actually Jamal Musiala.
That's a very good shout.
Yeah, and you have him at 10th. Fuad has him at 10th. Liban has him at 7th. Shaib has him at 9th. And AV has him at 9th.
That's a good shout. That is a good shout.
I'm shocked to hear Lies doesn't have him in here.
I'm sure it might have hurt Lies.
I'm
He's
shocked that
usually Lias's.
Mr. Faisal doesn't have him. I know he loves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I remember even like a couple of weeks ago, was it against Celtic, where he kind of disappointed me for both legs, and I was like, yo, in the big games now, we got to start looking at Musiala because it can't just be all eyes on Kane and Musiala because he's kind of the nice dribbler. The very next round, he said, "All right, brother, watch me."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he put the sword. And I think for me, this season, he's been quality for them throughout the entire season. He's been the one consistent player. I think Olise's had moments where he's been off, but he is just someone who, when you watch him, bro, he is just a joy. to watch.
Yeah.
Is the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just know something's going to happen, and he's one of those players. 360 degrees is how he plays.
Yeah.
Any angle, he takes these weird angles with his dribbles, his
Yeah.
touches. It's just so good, and the way he can just manipulate and move a defense. I just love him as a player, honestly.
Nah, he's an incredible player.
And when it comes to Musiala, right, I think what we underestimate is how hard it is to dribble effectively when you're in the 10. Because it's a lot easier to dribble if you're a winger on the right or on the left. But dribbling in the middle, through players,
Tight
through
spaces.
defenses, drawing out midfielders, drawing out centre backs, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Nah,
He
he's-
plays quite centrally as well, which is good. Yeah.
And I think he's
Yeah.
the best at that in the world, to be
And he
honest, in
does
that
it
10 role.
like with speed as
Yeah,
well. That's
no,
the
it's
thing. Like,
just
he
mad.
doesn't slow down or anything like that. And
crazy.
it's the final ball is what I always think needed kind of a bit of development. And the past 2 seasons, I feel like he's now got that. And he's going to become a
Bro,
serious
he's
player
a
for the
beautifully
next
technical
decade.
player, man. It's a shame he didn't make it into the top 10. But let's move on to the next one. And there's no more joints, by the way. So there's no more joints. Now it goes from 13th to 1st. Let's start with number 13. It is Robert Lewandowski.
Oh, I had him in.
You
Top
had him
10.
in. You had him in at.
He's having a
You
very
had him
good
in at 7th.
having a very
Liban
good
had him in
season.
at 6th.
Yeah.
Shahib had him at 8th. Chunks had him at
28
9th.
goals.
Having a great season. I got
Yeah.
a stats.
He stopped
right
scoring
here.
in La Liga. I think he's
Yeah, he
still
went on
Top
a little-
scorer.
yeah,
He went on a little drought.
Yeah. But he's
He's
still
got
top scorer.
at the moment he's got 35-3 in 40 games in all comps. So
great, that's
that's
very
38 goal,
good, yeah.
38 goal involvements. I feel like Messi and Ronaldo kind of blurred the lines now when it comes to stuff like that. When you see players have these goals to game ratios where it's almost pretty much similar, you just look at it and you're like, this is normal now.
Do you know what
But
it is?
I think he's having a very good season. He had a
a
little spell where he wasn't that good, where he had like a bit of a quiet spell, but he's kind of made up for it now with the important goals, the game against Atletico recently as well.
Yeah.
And he's got, I think, 9 or 10 goals in the Champions League. And
Yeah.
same again with Ronaldo and Messi. They were getting 15, 20 goals a season in
Yeah.
Champions League. It's kind of blurred the lines where when you see someone get 9 or 10 and you're coming up to the quarterfinal, you're kind of like,
bit
should I?
underwhelming,
Yeah,
but
it's a bit
should've been.
underwhelming,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's doing well. I think they were 3rd in the Champions League or 2nd. So he's having a
Second, yeah.
second.
They
So
just
to
missed out
lead
top
the
spot
line,
last day.
line at that age and still play at a very high clip, I feel like he should be in the top
Especially
10.
in that front three as well.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
he-
It should be.
I feel like that's the thing. He's a victim almost of his own
Success.
teammates and
Yeah.
success. And I feel like he's set such a level of consistency where if you're not even seeing 40 from Lewandowski, you're kind
Yeah.
of
Hey,
like,
man,
wrong with
that's
this guy,
brushing
man?
aside.
What's wrong
Yeah,
with this
yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
this is what he does, you know what I mean? And
But-
playing in that kind of attacking Barcelona system this season, you would have felt like he would have capitalized even more. And that's my only thing. I feel like there's kind of the little recently dry spell and things like that where I'm thinking there could be more. But then, as you say, still be doing it at that age. But last year, I felt he was even better. in
Yeah,
my
he was.
opinion.
Yeah.
But I feel
And
like,
like because he's kind of taken that little bit of a knock, I didn't have him in the consideration for kind of
this
like
year
top
he's
10.
changed his game a little bit as well because he's got the Rafinha's, Balde's running in behind. He's kind of doing similar to Kane, where he's dropping deeper, picking up the space just behind like the opponent's 6, and then he's threading the balls in behind. And we never really used to see that. I think we saw it a bit last year, but he's downloaded it more this year, and he's playing more back to goal football as well.
Yeah.
And with the way Hansi Flick's got Barcelona playing, that's perfect for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Barcelona's front three have just been
Perfect.
absolutely
They're
Perfect way to
devastating,
extend your kind of career.
Yeah,
as well, you
yeah,
know,
exactly,
At
yeah.
your age.
Literally, how old is he? Was he 35?
36.
Yeah.
35,
Oh, he's
36,
aging.
Putting up 35 goals in 40 games.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
yeah. No, it's not bad, is it?
It's not good. It's not bad.
I'm going
It's
back
actually a
from
good shout to be
age.
fair.
I think
yeah.
so when I done my list, I was looking at it and I was like, and I was looking at the games as well, and I saw the dry spell, and I was like, okay, the dry spell. Then I looked at how they performed in the league, and I remember they went on like a winless run for a while, and I was like, okay, it kind of goes down to him, but then also the front three need to chip in with the goals as well. Then I was like, this is still an unreal season.
Yeah,
like,
it's like, yeah.
like looking back at it, and then I looked at the Champions League numbers, and I was like, he's got 9. I think it was 9 or 10 goals in the Champions League, and I was like, he must be in the top 10, especially with the way we credit attackers so much when it comes to European football. He's doing it really well. So I feel like for me,
fair.
top 10 player. Yeah.
First, like you said, you had him at 7th. Liban had him at 6th. He's at Liban had him the highest on the overall list. But yeah, that's Robert Lewandowski. Let us know. I should have said this at the beginning actually, but please, guys, put your top 10 list. We're not at the top 10 yet, but put your top 10 list in the comments below and let us know who your top 10 best performers are this season. Let's move
You know
on.
what's so crazy. I remember even the last video we did. I think it was the Champions League's one. Kevin De Bruyne, you just got completely left over there. And I remember this is why I like the
yes.
comments. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you read it,
Oh,
you're
the
just
There's
like,
a player like, oh my god, I completely
Oh, yeah,
Thomas
yeah.
Muller was one. I was
Yes.
like,
Someone nominated
brother,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
did
yeah.
we
Someone
not
nominated
like?
him, yeah.
But yeah, that's
I
what
think it was only like
I was
one
like,
point, but everyone's like, how's not Thomas
yeah,
Muller?
it's just mad when you just see some of the lists that. So we always appreciate people's input.
100%.
That's what I'm
Of
saying.
course.
Yeah, let us know when we're wrong as well. We really appreciate that.
In a nice way.
Yeah, in the nicest way. Going up to 12th place now, Nobody on the table has him in. And if anything, someone has him in at fourth.
Oh, wow.
It's got to be Fizzy.
This actually Trinity has him in at fourth.
Oh, come on, man.
It is.
Is it Meslier?
It is a goalkeeper. No, I'm joking. It's not a goalkeeper. It is Rodrigo.
Our fourth is high though.
Fourth is too high.
Rodrigo. This is the
Rodrigo
I'm trying to get him to Arsenal prop.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
This is what it.
Okay.
This
Oh,
is
Sharky has him at 8th. Okay, yeah, Abs has him. I don't know what Abs is doing, but Abs has him at 8th, and AV has him at 6th. It makes sense.
Okay.
I don't know what Abs prop is. I don't know what his prop is.
Yeah,
but-
the Arsenal fans, yeah.
Arsenal
wishful
fans get the
thinking
fucking-
from the Arsenal fans. is
Even
what's going on
Faisal,
here.
the Real Madrid fan, doesn't have this guy in the top 10. So,
And Faisal is
says
like
a
a
lot.
diehard, like Rodrigo
who's watching
stan.
Rodrigo every game this season. Doesn't have a,
killing me.
But we're violating a little bit. Rodrigo still is an impeccable,
Yeah.
impeccable left winger. Like I think Liaz has said it. Real Madrid have the 3 best left wingers in the world in
Yeah.
their club, man. Mbappe, Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo. And he's always like the forgotten man. Sometimes
That's why he does the John Cena celebration now, isn't it?
yeah.
Can't see
You
me.
can't see
It's,
me.
yeah.
You forgot about me.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
I
thing,
like
though.
that as well.
Yeah.
He plays that sacrificial role, or that it almost gets overlooked. Yeah, I felt like that with Julian Alvarez at City last year, where sometimes they're such good players that there's only moments where you remember. And it's kind of that Atletico Madrid game, the way that started, cuts in from the right,
was a great goal.
the touch.
Yeah.
I was like, brother, this guy is one of the best players in the world. You're just kind of reminded, and it's glad to see him getting on.
Yeah.
It's a shame we don't really see enough from him just because he plays out of position
Yeah.
or he's like.
And the thing
he's
is,
always right wing.
he seems content doing that as well.
Yeah.
Like every time
the
he
best
gets
club
linked
ever,
with
really.
he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's
where
at the
am
best
I
club in the
going? I'm
world.
at the best club, and the way he gets involved in all the like everybody talks about Rudiger and Vinny Jr. and all. Rodrigo's always there, you know, but because he's got the little cute little 12-year-old face, he gets away with it, brother.
How long do you think
I love him, man.
How long do you think he's willing to do that sacrificial?
He's gonna do what Pedro did at Barca.
Barcelona. Yeah.
He's going to milk that till about I think 28,
8, yeah.
and then he's gonna cash in at one of these Premier League boys, and I feel sorry for whoever gets him then.
Why? Why'd you feel sorry?
He might be used, you know, like Varane to United, Casemiro to United. Like it's almost once they're like, "Yo, we're good." Yo, I want to see what
Once he's lost the love, when he loses love, when he's on his like 7th Champions League.
Because you know
I'm
these
good, bro.
Brazilians, once they come through at 17, by 27, hey,
Yeah, they
see you
wanna go
later.
carnival,
I'm a
man.
couple
trying to go
of
carnival. Trying to go carnival.
You can't blame them as well, man. Right, you have to understand where they're coming from.
But that is number 12 place, Rodrigo. Real Madrid fans, I'm actually interested to know, would you have had him in your top 10? Going up to 11th place, and this is the first person to miss out of the top 10, just missed out as well. And it's a shame that he missed out, because 3 of us had him in on the table.
Oh, I feel like I know who this is.
It's Virgil van Dijk.
I knew it was going to be him.
I never had him.
I
You
knew it
never
was
had
gonna
him.
be
No, I had at 9th. You had him at...
Ninth, I think.
you had him at 9th, yeah.
Yeah.
And then... sorry, I had him at 10th. You had him at 9th. So, yeah. But other people that had him in... Fawzi had him at 8th. Liaz had him at 10th. Faisal had him at 8th. And Alfie had him at 4th.
How come you guys had him in your top 10?
I mean, I
think
feel
he's
like
been incredible this
obviously
season, man.
the past week now, all of a sudden it's going to look shaky.
Yeah.
Because the Newcastle kind of that second goal is like doing this to him.
And he's in the background.
You know what I mean? It is what it is, and kind of the Champions League exit. But I think this season he has borderline been flawless, in my opinion. I think there were moments at the start of the season where Konate, I was like, I don't know. But then you just saw the quality, and I feel like him taking the captain's armband last season as well is just taking his game to another level. We never thought we'd see Virgil get back to these levels, and I'm not saying he's the same level he was pre-injury, but he is clearly the best centre-back in the world.
Yeah.
In my
Everyone
opinion.
talks about the PSG game. Everyone talks about the Carabao Cup. But this guy has helped lead Liverpool to a Premier League title, their second ever Premier League title. So
comfortably as
he's
well.
been so
and like, there was
incredible in that
conversations
back line.
obviously about Saliba or Rudiger. For me, this season, those conversations have been squashed.
Yeah.
And to do it at 32, 33, turning 33, whatever he is, brother, it just shows you quality.
So you won the Cams debate, right? The Culture Cams one, where you and Culture Cams were. I think he was Saliba,
He was saying,
and you were Van Dijk.
quality, you know what I mean? It always cream rises to the top, as they say.
Yes, fair enough. Fair enough.
Van Dijk's great, man. Like also, like you said, Fuad, after that ACL injury, I wasn't sure if he'd reach those heights again, and I think he set such high standards in that 18-19
And
season.
it took him a year or so.
It took him a little bit to adjust, but like we don't see many players really reach the top again post ACL. I guess it's a little bit different for defenders compared to attackers because they don't rely as much on their speed and stuff.
Yeah.
But he is just still the best in the world, and he's been the best in the world for like 5-6 years now. I think his longevity is quite underrated when we get into like the all-timer debates.
Facts.
And in terms of like completeness, I don't think in the 2010s there's really been a defender that's more complete than him as a centre-back, in my personal opinion. He's got everything. He's quick, he's physically strong, his passing range is elite, he's technical, he can mark man-to-man and zonally equally well. I think he's amazing, and he's proved that this season.
And that's what I always feel like is, in terms of quality, there was never any arguments in putting him alongside the greats of the game. But there was always a question, but he's only done it for 2 years, for 3 years.
That's the thing.
And the past 2 seasons for me, he's been shutting up that conversation. And I don't really even see it slowing down now. If that makes, I can see him go for another year or two at this level. So listen, a lot of greats are in trouble.
Exactly.
I can see him being the centre back now that all young centre backs look up to, like the Salibas, even the younger ones that are coming through in different countries. I feel like a lot of them are going to look up to him because his model is perfect. He has, I don't see any flaws in his game. Like generally, he's one of the flawless centre backs. One of the most flawless centre backs you ever see in football, and he does it all with the height that he has as well. It's very rare.
Do you think he's going PSG?
Well, you saw that conversation with Nasir Al-Khalifi.
That made me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, same, yeah.
How they tapping out after the shit?
Right after the game, we can't even do this behind
Bro, the body's still warm.
Oh, man.
It was peak.
That was, I think, because of that leaking now, because of those optics, he can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, that is going to be one where you end up in the bad.
And you know how Liverpool fans turn as well.
That is going to turn ugly if he goes PSG.
But I think that fella in the Liverpool end with the PSG hat will respect it. You know the concept?
He would,
Crazy.
But Van Dijk just misses out on the top 10. But guys, we are officially here.
Finally.
It is the top 10 now.
We needed this.
Let's get a little applause in.
I've only got 2 players
Yeah.
I've been selected. Musiala and Virgil. So
I think I had Gravenberch and Lewandowski.
Yeah, you should have Gravenberch. I think that was
Van
the
Dijk's the only one.
Yeah, Van Dijk.
When are we doing
Some
a...
9 of your players made the list.
I'm quite good at these top 10.
Last time you done this, I can't lie.
Last time I got all 10.
Are we doing a SDSFC top 10 soon?
Yes.
Because we've got a 12-man squad.
Hey, that's a tough top 10, you know.
I can't lie. End of the first season, we need to go.
You got to give us some
Actually,
games.
Yeah, we got to give it some
You got to see what they're about.
That's a great video idea. We're going to do that. We're going to do the SSFC top 10 like halfway through the season. Let us know what you guys think. Yeah? We'll do like a combined 11.
Combined Baller League 11.
League 11.
That'll be elite.
I'm pushing so much pro. But let's get into the first one. At 10th place. It is Mr. Jude Bellingham. Ooh. And Ilyas on the table doesn't have him in at all. Fuad has him at 6th. Luke has him at 7th. I have him at 8th. Liban has him at 9th. Lias has him at 6th. Faisal 6th. And Alfie 5th.
Wonder why did you guys have him? You had him 6th. That's high.
Yes. I think Lias and Faisal have him 6th as well. For me, I think this season is not a year where I'm looking at the numbers. I think especially in the early part of the season when Mbappe was fitting into the team, there was a big, Jude hasn't scored in 10 games or whatever it was. But I think if you watch Madrid, I always feel like he is the one that actually makes the team tick. And when he's not in the team, you saw that in the last game in the Champions League.
The first leg,
they look a shadow of themselves. And for me, he's the glue. And then he's also got to be the end product. And then he's also got to be the guy getting back to do the vocal leader, in my opinion, as well. There's so much of that he encompasses in that team. And I think so much it gets overlooked because he's, as you say, a tall player. People sometimes want the Pedri touches and the little Cruyff turns. And I'm like, brother, if you actually watch Jude, he's got the touches, he's got the dribbling. But because he's 6'4", it doesn't look as, you know what I mean, as sexy as certain man. And I'm like,
dribbling's very underrated,
bro, I'm like, he is actually almost like the complete footballer is how I look at him. There's no holes in his game. And there's no way.
Only in his socks, the holes. That's it.
You know what I mean? Create a little trend for yourself. You know what I mean? You got to do something that FIFA will clip up. But for me,
Luke is not far off. He had him at 7th.
And honestly, I struggle to find like a top 10 list without him and almost be justifiable. Because without a shadow of a doubt, he's one of the best players in the world.
I think so as well. But for me, the only reason why I didn't have him in the top 10 was that period at the beginning of the season when they couldn't find a system to fit Mbappe, Vinny, and Rodrigo, and they had him kind of like at the top of the diamond, and they had him deepest. And I feel like he wasn't as effective as he has been last season and when he was at Dortmund in either of those positions. So for me, it was kind of a slight on his season. That's the only issue I had. But then as the seasons progressed, I agree with what you said. As the seasons progressed, you've realised he's the glue. But for me, it was just I have players, in my opinion, that have been more influential to their teams and had better seasons than him.
Do you know what it was? It was like last year I didn't know Jude Bellingham could score goals like that.
Yeah, no one did. No one did.
The reading of the game, even like the bangers from 30 yards, I was like, rotted. This guy's got a whole different side to him because I just saw him as like a perfect number 8 box to box. This season almost made me appreciate him as a midfielder more, and especially when he went through that dry period, I was like, bro, you look at him. He's the one linking up the little 1-2s he does.
Yeah.
The amount of runs that he makes that actually drives them up the pitch, and I'm like, bro, people don't see these things, but because he's not getting on the end of goals or the assists, and he's playing in this kind of deeper role, I was like, brother, that's on Ancelotti. That's not on Jude Bellingham. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. I think it's more at the start. Ancelotti was relying a lot more on Mbappe, he didn't hit the ground running. And I think Jude was playing a bit out of position, not where we saw him last season, where Jude was their main man for, like, I would say 80% of the season. I think even last season, Jude had a better case for the Ballon d'Or than Vinny. I think he was their better performer overall.
Bro, I was saying that so much.
So I think when Ancelotti sort of realised, look, I need to rely on Jude. He's done it before last season. He's the main man that's going to take us forward. And I think he's a leader as well, not in the sense that his goals and assists. Yes, he's got double again this season, which is super impressive. But he's he drives, he bigs his team up, he drags them along. And in that Atletico game in the second leg, he was getting frustrated with Vinny with sloppy passes. He was angry. He was tracking runners back. He's like, I think he's just the perfect leader. He's young still. And he's not like the traditional leader at Real Madrid, like a centre back, like a Ramos has been. But I think what he offers in that role is just so impressive. And I think he's irreplaceable.
And I think sometimes when you have a lot of like big egos as you're going to have in that Madrid dressing room, you need someone like that who can keep the accountability on the likes of Vinny, the Mbappes of do more and want more
as well.
But then also when you got guys like Rodrigo who's propping him up after the game talking about that's what you want from kind of leaders in your dressing room. And I feel like this season can't go overlooked how much important he's been for Madrid.
Put my hands up for that one. You guys
got me.
I'm buying.
I let these two do the same.
Yeah, no, I bought it. I'll take out Lewandowski. I'll put him in. Can I put Jude in now?
Fair enough. Well, we had a first one. Ilyas does say he respects that he should have probably put Bellingham in his top 10, which we like that. We like accountability here.
Appreciate
Some people would
take
be
sometimes.
Like Faisal, one notably. Yeah. But let's get into Mr. 9th place, and it is another Real Madrid player.
Yeah, I knew this one was going to happen as well.
Yeah,
I knew this one was going to happen.
Mr. Fede Valverde.
That's a bit low, you know.
Mr. Underappreciated,
Mr.
Underrated.
Man.
And we say that, but I'm looking at Luca right now. Luca doesn't have him in his list at all.
I know Faisal's not going to be happy with that. Well, you know,
Faisal's on his way now.
Faisal's spamming Hey One right now to the whole time. So we're trying to figure that one out. Before we let him explain before he justifies it, I have him at 6th. Fuad has him at 8th. Ilyas has him at 6th. Star Player has him at 6th. Rindy has him at 7th. Faisal has him at 3rd. Chunks has him at 10th, and Alfie has him at 6th.
I felt like me putting him at 8th was even low.
Same. When I had him at 6th, yeah.
Yo, I feel like I've got him too low, and I could move him up, but people are gonna say I'm biased or whatever. But I was just like, yo, you know what? Let me get him in there. No, just that I've always loved Fede. For me, he's just one of those types of players who just jack of all trades, master of all.
He
as well
generally is the
time.
most. I know you said that Jude was the most. He is the most important player of that Real Madrid team. He's so influential in that whole team.
Agree with
that. Everything about him. But Luca, let me allow you to deliver your.
I'll be honest, guys. I'm not going to convince you that he's not top 10. It's a very valid shout. You could easily have him top 10.
I hear it.
So I'm not even going to try.
It's a 3v1. He's like, you know what, man? This is too much for me.
No,
but Fede Valverde,
he's top, man.
Yeah,
he's one of the best midfielders in the world, and he's not, like I say midfielder. He's been playing right back most of his season. He can play anywhere.
He generally can play everywhere.
And the thing is with me, you say he's a jack of all trades, but he's got things in midfield and at right back that other midfielders and right back don't have. So it's like he's a specialist in midfield with his ability to run, and even his passing has gotten so much better. Then at right back, his ability to defend and actually be a leader in that back four is incredible. So jack of all trades, I don't really like jack of all trades players, but he's like the best jack of all trade player.
Do
you get what I mean? Because he's played right wing, he's played right back, he's played centre.
All his trades are actually at the highest.
Like he's at the peak in every position. He can play in any team in the world in all those positions. Where other jack of all trades, they're okay in this position. You have to put them there if there's a bunch of injuries. But with Valverde, if you come up against a top left winger, you can say, okay, I know Carvajal's injured, but Carvajal, you take a break today. We've got Fede there. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Carvajal comes back.
Upgrade, bro. And the thing is he might have to sacrifice himself and just become the world's best right back.
It's annoying. It's annoying, man.
You know, sometimes you just stumble upon something and you're just like, you know
But
what?
I feel like they'll force.
Ashley Cole, I know he was a
Yeah.
left winger in the academy, but
You gotta go-
he's
I
got
feel
to become the
he's
best
that
left
good
back.
in
I feel like he'll.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll finish. He'll play centre mid his whole career for Madrid. You know.
I think so.
Do you know
Because
what?
I feel like they'll
Easily
end.
could.
I feel like Chouameni or Camavinga, one of them two is going to end up leaving.
I think they're leaving.
I feel like one of them because Real Madrid are
might
not
be the
known
summer.
for.
I can't lie. I even said
Potentially.
Camavinga left back, bro.
Yeah, but with
become the best left back
But
in
with
the
Real
world,
Madrid,
man.
when have they ever had like legitimate starters sit on the bench? They
Yeah.
always just have a starting 11, then they have the odd Spanish player
But you know
who's
what it
like a
is?
bench warmer. That's
like
good to
because-
come off the bench.
Because this crop is so young, one, they love being in this team. I have a weird feeling. I don't feel like they'll want to leave for any particular reason. Like they'll almost have to be forced out, and I can't see that kind of situation happening.
Yeah.
Like a Chouameni, I can't see him being, I don't know, pulled by the Premier League. I can't see any PSG pulling one of these guys away.
You don't think so?
I can see PSG pulling away like a Camavinga.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
I think Camavinga's
I could see Juventus
doing.
doing it, to be honest.
Y'all ain't got money like that, bro.
Mark spent all the money.
Come
Wait for
on,
his
man.
contract to expire. But yeah, unfortunately, Fede Valverde did finish in 9th place.
It's a disgrace.
Let's get into it.
That's my fault, guys. I'll hold my hands
Look at
up.
that. I like that. Elias is hold it. Yeah,
No, do you know what it is, yeah?
it happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Elias here and say I knew you guys would have him. You know? I just wanted to show some love.
Lias.
You got mail.
You know, I can't wait. I can't wait for Lias' reaction video to this.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I normally like his reaction videos to the top 10.
I just don't think personally this season he's been that impressive. Jude has been better. Chouameni, Camavinga has been better.
Like how isn't Jude Bellingham top 5? Like how?
How?
Like I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Why is he assassinating girl?
Is that not how you do it? Is that not how you do it?
Like, oh my God, guys.
Like, guys, how have we not got Pedri so far?
oh my
Like, what's going on?
What am I hearing?
Hey, man.
What's not to like?
Well, Lee says you're impression. I want to see his reaction
Yeah,
to
honestly,
that impression.
I feel like he's gonna change his voice. He's like, yo, like, guys,
I don't know what he's talking about, man.
Yeah, like, what's he talking about?
Yeah, bro. I can't wait for Lias to be here long enough to start incorporating, London lingo.
Oh, yeah.
Nah. It's too. He hasn't done it yet. I don't think he ever will.
Has he not done it? Like a
He's
little-
not done it
gonna
yet,
be
man.
one word that
Nah,
slips
he
through, I'm
hasn't,
telling
man.
you.
He's been around us too long, and he's been in the country for too long.
Yeah.
He would have picked up by now.
Even he lives with Cams, bro, and even Cams isn't able
Yeah.
to give him any lingo, bro.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe Cam's picking up all the American lingo. Cam's at home like, what's not to like, bro?
Yeah, what's that to like, dog? Let's get back into the top 10, and we're on to Mr. 8th place. And 8th place is actually a very interesting one, because one person on the table has him at first,
No way, man.
and one person on the table, or two people on the table rather, don't have him at all. So this is a fascinating one.
This is
This is a crazy one.
This is so
someone.
That's
So wait,
crazy. This is
someone on
is
this
so
table.
disrespectful.
Someone on this table has him
You
first.
think it's your player? You think it's
It's definitely not my player. Because I know my player got other votes.
Yeah.
See, you kind of
my
look
player's
at
asserting
me.
number one
You kind of
pick.
look. I think it's me, but like,
I can reveal. Well, also
can't be me, man.
Fuizzi had him at 6th. Sharky had him at 10th.
Oh, so it's not the player that I think it is.
Is Faisal have him in?
It's you.
It's definitely you, bro.
It's Luca.
Nah,
Faisal doesn't have this player in.
it's my guy.
The
Can't be
player
my
is
guy.
Mr. Vinny Jr.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it can't be my guy.
You had Vinny number 1.
Yeah, number
Come
one.
on, bro, man.
And you didn't have him in at all.
Yeah.
I don't have Vinny in my list
Yeah,
either.
that's why you two don't have him in.
Come on, bro. The guy hasn't scored. I don't think he scored a league
Lias
goal
and Faisal
since like
don't have him.
November.
No. The thing is, I understand the league form has been patchy, but I'm still like, yo, is he not the best
Atletico
player in
game
the
wasn't
world?
that great.
Yeah.
What, Mr. Champions League now? We can't give him one round.
No,
Why?
but best player in the world.
But that's the thing for me.
But it's
if we're looking
performers
at
though.
Yeah, it's
not players.
performers. Yeah.
I kind of overlooked a little bit in this one with a
Oh
bit of
my,
biasness.
that is crazy.
Because it can't have been
He's
me,
there
man.
like, it can't be my player.
He's devastated. He was devastated.
How the fuck does nobody else have Vinny in their list then?
I have him in at 9th.
Come on, bro.
Fuizzi has him at 6th. Sharky has him at 10th. Liban has him at 4th.
I knew I was going to have him too high, but I was like, yo.
You had him first.
Chunks 5th. Alfie 2nd. AV is 7th.
I think it's his name that carries him.
Yeah. It's way.
Definitely, there was definitely a bit of star power there.
But it's just how
I'm like, yo,
of
for
incredible
me, he is
player he
the
is.
undeniable number 1 player in the world. So that was carrying heavy for me. And I was like, hey, whenever I've seen him this season, he's impressed me.
incredible, yeah.
Now, has he delivered in the same way he delivered maybe last year? No. But for me, I still think he's the best player in the world, undeniably.
You think?
Who
Everyone,
else?
I think Mbappe.
I think Mbappe, yeah.
I think Yamal. I'll take Yamal over him. I think Salah over him.
Rafinha's having a better season than him.
Yeah. Rafinha has been incredible.
I'll take quite a few.
Damn.
Salah, I can. Nah, I can't even hear Salah. I can't. Salah's Ballon d'Or form, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Salah's the only one that was maybe contending.
Oh, is
with
it?
him.
Yeah, okay.
And Salah's.
Well, we'll talk about him potentially. We might not talk about him. We never know.
So but for me, Vinny was like the undisputed number one for me.
Yeah.
And was
I just loved Lucas' reaction there because he was
look-
jelly for it.
you looked at me just even
I was
outside.
like, hold on, no way. There's no way.
He's like, everyone else voted for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
I was gonna say, man.
I knew Vinny wasn't going to be high on
The
this
worst thing
list.
is, I was like, yo, I didn't give him the like after the Ballon d'Or win. I was like, all right, cool. He's lost some points for me because like. Even like a little
reaction,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
I was
But he
like,
done the tweet and he's not done much since.
I was like, all right, cool. Now
Do you think the Ballon d'Or has affected him? The fact he never won?
I fully agree.
I think it's affected him, yeah, because he's quite an emotional player. Like you can see it on the pitch and off the pitch, and I feel like it's got to him.
He took that to heart.
Yeah, especially when you've got Mbappe now. He went through that cold spell at the beginning of the season, and then after the Ballon d'Or, he's become the guy at Rome. And then Rodrigo's having the moment so far this season as well. So I feel like that's getting to him, and I can't.
And I think
I don't think he'll ever.
resurgence has also like kind of dimmed his light.
I don't think Vinny would ever leave Madrid, but I can see him being the player of the front three that has the biggest problem of I'm not the star man. Do you get what I mean? Because remember before Mbappe
he's
joined,
probably worked the hardest to get.
exactly.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
before
sure.
Mbappe joined, everyone was like, "How are they going to work together?" Then they,
Neymar.
Everyone's like,
Yeah,
this
it
is
could be
Vinny's
like-
team.
This is Vinny's team. But then you're seeing now it's going to end up being Mbappe's team because Mbappe's he's undeniable, bro.
Bellingham's team.
Mbappe's undeniable.
Then it's Bellingham as well. He has a
All these
conversation.
forwards with their prima donnas. That's Bellingham's team.
It's Valverde's team.
All of you, man.
It's Valverde's
Finish the
team.
thing, bro.
Nah.
That's the spiritual leader. I'm the real leader.
Mbappe could arguably go down as one of the best players ever. I don't think Bellingham will. I want him
he's
to,
already
but
up
I don't think Bellingham will be
Vinny?
at the level that Mbappe reaches. Yeah, I agree. But Vinny,
Do you think he'd be one of the best players ever?
It depends what he wins. As
yeah,
well.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a lot of
like I
accolades.
said, he's a very emotional player, and when players are emotional like that, it affects their game a lot.
Yeah.
see-
Yeah.
I think Mbappe's already up there with one of the best players ever. Like I think
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
same.
told me he's top 20 of all time, I wouldn't even have an issue if you said that.
That hat trick in the World Cup final.
Don't know that one.
The 2018 World Cup, his
Yeah,
career
he's top,
since
man.
then, like he's unreal, and I feel like this is gonna be his team.
Yeah.
Like it's been,
You can see the shift.
yeah,
ever so slightly.
they're molding it to be his team. They're
Yeah.
molding it to be his
Next
team.
season, you're
Yeah.
going to really see whose team it is. To be fair, because this
Yeah.
this happens like second half season. Probably Mbappe will have the stronger end to the season. But once it comes to next season, then we're going to really see whose team is
Boy.
it. And
Those
boy,
goals,
we're-
those
they'll
goals
become-
against that game against Man City, all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some uncomfortable conversations then.
Remember
But
Mbappe was missing versus Atleti as well.
yeah.
No, they both didn't have a great game. They both didn't have a great
But
game.
if Mbappe took that pen, maybe.
Oh,
maybe
he
pen.
won it. He should have taken it.
At the beginning of the season, when he getting all the charity pens.
Oh.
But now when
Yeah,
it matters,
fair
they're
enough.
ducking.
Fair
But now
enough.
when it matters, they're ducking.
Things
Yeah.
can happen.
Fair
Man.
enough.
What about Vinny Jr. in the penalty shootout? Where was he? Oh, he got subbed on. Yeah, he got taken off. I remember that.
Don't worry, we gotta remember this pod. We gotta remember this pod.
Right now.
We gotta spin the block on this in a few months' time. Don't worry.
When he lifts out of the Champions League, bro, this guy's inevitable. But let's go on to 7th place. And he is all of us. I think this is the first one that all of us on the table have him in. Ilyas actually has him the lowest, and I have him was one of the highest. It is Mr. Harry Kane. Harry Kane.
I got him low because he had a run where he wasn't that great, and there was a lot of doubts around him.
Lewandowski's thing.
No, but it was
Everyone's
worse.
looking at these little strikers with their little patches.
But it was worse than Lewandowski's one because
feel like
he was going through a run where they were saying we need to change the system now, and Lewandowski didn't have that. They were having a run where they were saying is Kane hindering the attack? It's not as free flowing with him in the team, and then now he's completely flipped it, and now the front three doesn't work without him. So company's done well to structure the front line to accommodate for Kane's strengths, which is dropping deep, collect the ball, playing Elise, playing Coman, playing Gnabry, whoever it is running forward, Musiala, whoever it is. But I feel like that run that he had, I can't remember when it was. I remember
Around
it
January.
Yeah, I can't remember when it was. I thought it was around the New Year. But that run there was for me why I had him slightly lower. But
I think
his goals this
it's hard
season.
to tax him on that because I feel like the goals depend so much on him at Bayern. You look
Yeah.
around him, you've got Elise, who for me is a brilliant player, but he's more of a creator and he's not going to contribute.
Yep.
Musiala, to be fair, has chipped in a fair bit, but outside of him, if Kane ain't scoring, no one else is.
Yeah,
and
no
I
one's
feel
picking
like
up the
then
load.
if he goes on like a little dry spell, which I think is natural for any player, you're going to go for a little
of
bit
course,
of a rough patch. But and also when you're kind of looking at the best, you're splitting hairs, so you're looking for any kind of dry spell, I guess. But for me, I think with him, it's the way he's kind of researched the Champions League now as well in the knockout stages.
He's got 10 goals in the Champions League.
10 goals
in 11 appearances.
I love how we talk about dry spells. He's got like 30 odd goals.
He's got
30 goals.
In 37 appearances, he's got 32 goals in
36. Yeah, 32 and 11 and 37.
For me, he is
ridiculous.
Bayern Munich keep chugging along in the Champions League. He's also a late contender for a Ballon d'Or shout because it's
That's
very
what I'm saying.
open.
He's
this
another
season.
one that's also
very
that's
open,
kind of
like
yeah.
a dark horse, so it's a very open.
Even if
race this
Bayern
year,
Munich
and-
win the Champions League, is he a potential?
Bro, we've
for
said.
Ballon d'Or?
I feel like any team that wins the Champions League
They're
this
always
year,
gonna
be-
their key player is going to be the
you're saying
Ballon d'Or
claiming
contender.
the
So you're
title.
saying John McGinn for Aston Villa might be...
Yeah, John. It could be Morgan Rogers.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Hey.
Asensio.
Jacob Ramsey. Hey,
Asensio.
Marcus Rashford.
Hey, Ballon d'Or!
Imagine.
Imagine he comes on to United with the
the
Ballon d'Or.
I wouldn't even step foot in Manchester. if I
Just
was
quickly,
there.
I have him at 5th. Fuad has him at 7th. Luke has him at 6th. You have him at 9th. The other people that have him is Fawizzi has him at 4th. Sharky is 6th. Liban 8th. Star Player 8th. Rindy 8th. Leah's 9th. Faisal 9th. Abs 10th. Shaib 4th. Chunks 3rd. And Alfie and Avey don't have him in at all.
But they want to have Haaland then. It's fair enough. It's fair enough.
I'm interested in you. So with you had Lewandowski at 7th and Kane at 9th. So you think
Yeah.
arguably
So
Lewandowski's having the bet, but then they both had that dry spell. I know
for
you
me,
said
it
this
was
one was-
Lewandowski's playing in a tougher league, the age, and also the Champions League run that they've had this year of them finishing second. I feel like that was the factor for Lewandowski to be ahead of Harry Kane.
Team contribution there.
Team contribution comes in. It comes in a lot, bro. It comes in a lot for
Just look at
performance.
that team, Lamine Yamal,
because there's no player in the top 10 where their team is not doing that well.
Who's Harry Kane?
Everyone's team is doing good.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, but
Come on.
with Barcelona.
Who's Harry Kane Jamal, bro?
No, he's got
Yeah.
Musiala still.
What was you gonna say, Luca?
I was going to say that Barca also create the most chances out of all the big teams in the world. So, like, that you'd expect Lewandowski to have high output as well.
Even look at the managers as well. He's got a better manager, man. Hey,
You guys are hating. You guys are hating.
I'm just
How's
saying.
he's already done what company's trying to do? You
One
know
guy
what
was
I mean?
at Burnley last season. That's what I'm trying to say, innit? But fair play that Harry Kane did finish 7th in our overall list. Going up to 6th place. And this is a player where one person on the table, again, doesn't have him in at all in his list. And yet, someone on the table has him at 3rd. So it is
me.
Mr. Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah.
Oh,
you do not.
I got him at 3rd as well.
You have him at 3rd. You have him at
Oh, you ain't
5th,
got him
at
on?
7th. He hasn't got Dembele.
Come on, bro. He's got 30. He's got 30 goals.
You forgot, right?
I'm gonna hold my hands on right now.
Come on.
I forgot.
Fair enough.
Completely forgot.
I thought you lost your mind.
How did you know?
Even like Ballon d'Or races, I think we was talking about last
Yeah.
week. I was like, yeah, Dembouz is actually
Yeah,
really
you
good.
did, yeah.
He's one of the few players that, like, I genuinely had no faith, never bought stocks. I was a purebred hater.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we won after he left Barca. When he, even last season, when he was scrubbing it up, it's like,
Yeah, we won.
told y'all.
Yeah.
Told you. This season, I said, you know what? There's redemption.
Yeah.
Redemptions
You're
do
the only
exist.
one that didn't have him
Bro,
in the 16 list as
He's
well.
30 and 6.
Completely
I hear it.
evaporated from
Yeah,
my
yeah.
brain.
One of those was. It's
It
just
was-
one of those.
I hear
was.
it. Everyone has that. Everyone has
PSG, I
that.
think Vitinha, Jean Neves came. I went, them man there, man, they're cute, man. Like,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I said, Dembouz did not even come into my mind, so my bad. That
Okay,
one,
fair enough.
he would have
Fair enough.
definitely
Like I
made
said,
my list.
You had that moment today. You had that moment today. You
No,
had that moment.
I have the
I
moment?
remembered
I don't have that
Valverde.
moment.
I just messed
Bellingham.
Oh yeah, no. I just went past it.
Okay.
I had his
saw
name.
him.
I had his name. I said, nah,
acknowledged
bro.
it.
Is that with
Said, nah,
Valverde?
I'll be honest, man. I saw him. I thought Fraser. I said I want to know it.
Nah, Dembele's having a crazy season. He's
Dembele,
another one.
yeah,
If PSG
incredible.
win the Champions League, he's contender for
Ballon
Ballon
d'Or.
d'Or. He's got 30 and 6
Yeah.
in like I don't know how many games. This is like 30 something games.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Let me see.
30
Here's
and 6
one. It's been
in 37
outrageous.
games, and he's the top scorer in 2025
Yeah.
in top 5 European leagues.
Why are you laughing so much? Wait, you forgot him.
Yeah.
Someone else, I just remembered.
Okay, no,
And then on top of that, he's completely changed.
you know who it was? And have him in Imo.
And he's changed his game around as well. He's playing as the false 9.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
in 2025,
yes,
since they signed Kavicha, he's playing as the false 9.
But
man.
he could have the ultimate redemption story, you know.
He's still, bro.
There's no win that
Dembele, you know, he
shot.
can have the ultimate redemption story, but Dembele still has that thing in him where he gets into that position in the box
You said
and he
it
just has
after
that
the
terrible
Liverpool
touch,
game, yeah.
or he has that like bozo moment.
Did it in the last round.
Yeah, where it's like he just does something.
He was
He's just
generally through on
you're
goal.
just like,
and
come on,
he had
Dembele.
to pass it across. And
I
then
think
he
he's
took a heavy
too
touch.
bow-footed. Like he doesn't know which foot he's gonna touch the ball with.
No, but I
sometimes.
love this penalty in the penalty shootout though.
Yeah.
just went there.
Even his
Let me go. Run up.
even his goal for against Liverpool, like to drop in deep and then
Yeah.
play the pass
Yeah.
from Nuno Mendes' ball was quality.
Yeah, no,
great player.
Dembele.
It's nice to see him reach that those heights. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, we thought we'd see it at when he moved from Dortmund to Barcelona and they spent 100-odd million on him. And he never really lived up to that, injury problems as well. So it's nice to see him reach the pinnacle of football. And yeah, it could be a Ballon d'Or season for him.
Yeah, and I'm happy because he's still young as well.
Yeah, he's
He's like
28, 29.
I had a great comparison. Of
Rob, was it Liban? I
Robben.
think done it.
Yeah, and apparently he stole that from Coach Cam's. United fans, you know, they're all interbreeding. The
But
same
no,
opinions.
I can see like
But
with age, yeah,
with
with age.
actually one of the best comparisons in terms of
breeding.
interbreeding of opinions, isn't it? Like,
Bunch of rednecks, man.
all the adjectives. All the adjectives in the world.
yeah.
Yeah, literally of all the adjectives as well. You could have said anything else. Could have called him a thief.
What were you gonna say?
Anything you want.
That one just spun me.
I don't know why that came to my mind.
Like that
United fans.
Like you're David Attenborough.
I get it, man. He's like Robin.
Well, Dembele, I had him at 7th. Luke had him at 5th. You had him at 3rd. Fawzi 9th. Sharky 3rd. Liban 10th. Star Player 4th. Rindy 5th. Lia's 5th. Faisal 10th. Ab 7th. Jabe 7th. Chunks 4th. Alfie 8th. And AV.
I'm shocked at Faisal having him 10th.
Yeah, that one.
I thought Faisal was a big Dembele fan as well.
Yeah, I can't lie. I had a problem with had even
He's
third.
probably like, yeah, he's just like on that anti. He doesn't want him to win any of the Ballon d'Or, the Champions League. He's like, I don't want you to touch anything.
Fair enough.
Get away from me. But let's go into the top 5 now. We're into it. We're into the business end.
I need to know who I forgot. Well, to be honest, you didn't even have him on your list.
I didn't forget him. I looked at him straight in his eyes. Like, you ain't getting him, man. 5th place is the player that
You're joking.
is the player that you put in first. Is Mr. Pedri.
That's disrespect.
You put Pedri first.
Yeah. Me and Fuad put him at 3rd. Ilyas Hammond at 8th.
He's my
Pedri FC.
arguably my favorite player in the world as well.
That's how Elias Musiala's his favourite player, but he
Yeah.
didn't have him in his top 10.
Pedri
No,
this
listen, just
season-
because they're your favourite doesn't mean
Yeah,
you think
no,
they're
no,
top 10.
yeah.
Do you know what I
Pedri
mean?
this season's been all action.
He's amazing.
what
Amazing
an
player.
incredible-
Amazing
the
player.
fact
Once
that
again,
he
he's played
stayed-
so much minutes as well.
Yeah, the fact that he's played so much minutes, been able to stay free. He's another one like is
Come
like
back from a
if
serious
you
injury
see,
as well.
Yeah, if you can see that guy fully fit for a season, you can see
he's
what he's
missed
fully
one
capable
game
of.
due to illness, not even an injury. Like
The amount of different roles he plays in that midfield, he is like a one-man show. And the other day, you saw even Frankie de Jong coming back to life. I was like, look what Pedri, he's reviving careers out here as well. I'm
No
like,
Barca fans are ready for Casado and Pedri next season. They want that one.
Casado,
just
Pedri and Gavi.
listen,
Oh
just-
my
Like La Masia,
Listen.
well, not La Masia midfield, but basically La Masia.
That's a Betis boy right there.
The Las Palmas midfield.
from Las Palmas.
Yeah, the Las Palmas midfield.
Casado's come back from a big injury as well. I feel like they don't want to put too much pressure on him.
And he's still a baby as well.
Number one.
I'm just trying to process,
Yeah,
to be honest, how he's in 5th. I think
But
that's
Luca, you had him
low.
at first.
Yeah, I have him first.
Why do you think he's been the best performer this season?
Because Barcelona ticks with him. That's the thing. I think he's their most important player. I think what Pedri does for them in terms of build-up play, in terms of dictating a game, I don't think there's a better dictator of the game in world football. And I'm stressed this. I think he's one of the best midfielders I've ever seen in my life. Genuinely, I think he's pushing top 5, to be honest. Like, I know it sounds crazy to say because he's so young and he can still grow so much and develop as a player, but he's just incredible to watch. I think also this season, let's not forget, like we all talk about his creativity, how his final pass is, because he gets a lot of pre-assists as well. Like it's not just the numbers you can look at. He dictates everything. He's the one that gets it into Lamine or to Rafinha, who then create the final goal. And also, like, there's a lot of chances this season where he's played that final ball and Barcelona players have missed the chance or whatever. He could have easily way more assists, but bro, his work off the ball is so underrated.
He's a proper runner.
he
has-
leads the
he
Liga
has-
in ball recoveries.
But also in Europe, he has more ball recoveries than Caicedo and Rice, who are known for breaking up play, defensive work. When you think about Pedri, you don't associate him with the defensive side of the
it's
game,
just
but he's
attacking
improved so much this season. And Barcelona what sums up his importance is the fact that they hired new professionals to really investigate why he's always injured, and they found out it was to do with his muscle mass, and they worked hard with him in the gym to try and prevent these injuries. And I think that sort of summarizes how important he is for them. They knew they needed this guy fit, and this season they've had him fit, and I think he's been their most important player. So I think 5th is just, I think that's a bit low, man.
I agree.
What was you gonna say?
I actually think in terms of like Ballon d'Or contenders, I think he won't get put in there because he's simply
The
not
numbers,
putting down the
yeah.
numbers,
It's just
and
too
he's
deep,
not further
yeah.
forward. But if you look at in terms of guys who are actually controlling games, like he is arguably number 1 in that position.
Yeah.
And
So why
I
do you
think
think
we're talking about Vitinha and João Neves and kind of the role that they do, a jack of all trades and everything, and even with Fede. He is doing that this
Of
season,
course.
and then you're getting the creme de la creme in the creativity department as well.
Do you not think the Ballon d'Or will slowly pivot to start showing those players
I hope
appreciation?
so.
Because Rodri,
I
they gave
hope
him
so.
the Ballon d'Or.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't mind it when Rodri got it. I was like, the Ballon d'Or is now restoring to almost default setting where
Yeah.
before it was the highest numbers,
Yeah.
the
Most
freaks
goals,
of
most
nature that are
assists.
Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah.
And if you ain't coming close to those numbers, you're not coming. Now it's like, nah, let's appreciate players who are in and around the game as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think he's one of those. He should be for the way he's played
That's
this
Spain
season.
midfield, Rodri and Pedri.
5th for me,
Oh
I
my
think. Yeah,
goodness.
I would have had him podium for sure. Because
But going back on what he said, one of the best players you've ever seen, like midfielders you've ever seen.
mind you, let's remember he's only 15 years old. You know,
That's true as well. That's true as well.
not a long lifespan.
Bro, I'm 28 and I'm the same. I'm 28 and I think the same. Like watching Pedri, I said it when he first jumped on the scene. I'm not gonna say it
What
now.
did you say about him?
Plays like he's got 8 inches on him, and that's how he does play. And he still plays like that now. He still plays like that now. He's an unreal midfielder, and I don't know if it was Lias or someone said that he can go on that table 1 when he retires. He can be better than
Yeah.
Xavi when he retires, and I feel like he's going down that route. He's going down that route of being that kind of midfielder.
I don't think Luke
was too young. He was too young.
Luke missed that episode where you said that.
He was too young. Do you know what it was? It was the Euros. What Euros was it?
It was the
2020. No, yeah,
2021 technically, but we lost the
2021.
final.
And obviously he had a crazy
You
Euros.
were doing the combined 11.
He was doing a combined 11. I think I was like one of the only people that had Pedri on the
Pedri,
team.
yeah, he said
And
he
I said,
plays-
bro, he plays like he's got 8 inches on him. And it's true. At that Euros, he played like he was 35. Yeah.
Seasoned vet.
He was a seasoned vet. And then he went to the Olympics straight after.
How'd you play like that?
I ain't never played like that.
Hey, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something.
What dots has he connected?
You gotta have it to know it. Have it to know it.
For the people that didn't have him in, Fawizzi never had him in. Sharky
Shock.
at 7th. Liban never had him in either.
Shock.
Star Player had him at 5th. Renedy at 10th. Leah's at 3rd. Faisal at 4th. Abs in 4th. Shabe at 6th. Chunks at 7th. Alfie never had him in. Shock.
Shock.
Avi at 8th.
So you gotta have it.
Yeah.
gotta
Not
have
having him in
Pedri.
is. I think me
draw the
having an
line
8th
there,
is
man.
criminal. Like when I done the list, I was like, oh, Pedri, I don't have to do this to you. Like I don't want to do this to you.
don't
man.
wanna do
Like,
this to you,
like, I
man.
didn't
And
want
it
to.
can't,
Like,
can
and
it
then have-
be
hearing
forgotten?
people not have
Because
him.
I'm sure they've got other Barca players in this.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
probably
So
why.
it can't be like a forgotten thing.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just plain disrespectful.
Yeah, you
That's
see.
what it is. It's
Wait,
I like
That's
that.
like-
I like
What
that.
did you know?
no 2 ways
Wait,
about
wait.
it.
I just noticed on some of your one.
What?
You had Pedri 8th. And you had Lewandowski 7th.
That was probably just error.
You see,
That's probably just an accident. That might have been an accident. You know?
Polish babes or something.
I know this guy.
What's her name, man?
That might have been an accident. Her name's Lewandowski. Roberta Lewandowski.
But that is 5th place. Pedri, unfortunately, hasn't made it to the podium.
It's a shame, man.
It's a shame. But let's get into number 4. 4th place. 2 of us on the table don't have him in.
Come on, guys.
And incidentally as well,
Some smelly boys over there.
one other person on the table has him at 8th. And it is Mr. Kylian Mbappe. And you had him at 4th. And you had him at 8th. Luca had him at 8th. Elias had him at 4th. And me and Fuad did not have him in.
That is very high.
I think his resurgence this season has been amazing.
No, not this season. The second half of the
The
season.
second, not even the second half of the season. I think the first half of the season was when he was bad. Then the second half of the first half of the season, he switched it
Why are
up.
we giving him second?
He switched it up.
First half of the
Let's say there's
Wait. So the first half of the season's done. You're talking about the first half of the second half.
No,
of
I'm
the
talking about the first half of the first half of the season.
So the first
So let's say the first quarter of the half of the season.
first quarter.
Yeah, the first quarter. The first quarter. Sorry, I don't do quarters around it. I don't do quarters. I only do halves. I only do halves of it. But
Someone
listen,
needs to do the math. You know one of those TikTok talking videos.
you know when you just say a lot of buzzwords just to make it sound good.
You're like B. Lou. You know,
Yeah, like me, Lou. just bare buzzwords. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm trying to make the 1 minute mark on TikTok. Trying to get paid.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean?
Trying to get the pay.
But no, the first quarter of the season, yes, he wasn't that great. But the way he's
smelly.
bro. Faisal was saying I don't even want him anymore. He was disowning him and all that kind of stuff. He stopped calling him Kiki. All these kind
He
of
was
things.
bouncing on the chair for him, man. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
And then now that
That's crazy.
Did you not see that clip?
That was
See, put the clip in there.
one of the worst clips that hit the internet. I don't ever want to see that clip again.
But his resurgence from the first quarter is insane. Like he's got 34 GA in 43 games, 30 goals already, which is good. It was expected.
Nation of GA.
Yeah.
Okay, it was 30 goals and 4 assists.
Okay, that was
a bit more accurate.
Yeah, 30
How many
goals,
penalties in those 30 goals?
quite a few penalties, but a lot of men on this list have got a lot of penalties.
Yeah, of course.
How did he finish above Lewandowski then?
Because it's Mbappe, bro.
Oh, that's
It's
what
Mbappe,
it is.
man.
thing,
It's Mbappe, man. It's always Mbappe. Like he's like we said earlier, he's already one of the best players of all time. He's gone into Real Madrid. There was a lot of pressure on him. He didn't deliver the first quarter, and now he's making that run in Champions League later on. Even though the Atletico round of 16, he didn't have a great round of 16.
Yeah.
But now, if he goes on and carries on playing the way he's been playing the second half of the season, I feel like he has a Ballon d'Or run in him.
But if you're doing that argument, then with him, he had Vinny Jr. first, and you're wondering like,
No.
And
Vinny's different. Vinny's different. He made a tweet. When you tweet, yo, this is a disgrace, you don't go to the Ballon d'Or party, all this kind of stuff, no Real Madrid players go Ballon d'Or.
His
And then,
excuse has not been great.
yeah, man, it's not been that good. And he's just getting bare likes as well. I think Mbappe's
I don't think that's ridiculous to say the position in his ranking, to be honest. I'm just dying at the fact that you said the first half of the second half. I just can't get
the
around.
first half of the first half.
I feel like Mbappe is one of those weird ones,
yeah.
I don't mind where you put him.
Yeah.
On this list or even off this list. Like, there's a case for each and every single one. If that makes sense. Like, that case you just made for me, I think it's valid. The way he's kind of redeemed himself. Although the two legs Atletico, it was kind of back to default settings.
Yeah.
that we
Would you
saw
ever
in
put him
the
at
first quarter
Would you
or
ever
the first
see?
half?
Would you ever see the case of him being put at first?
Huh? No.
There's 3 people that have had him at first.
I wouldn't. I think
Okay,
that's
3
that. I
people
think
come
they're
first,
doing.
isn't
They're
it?
doing.
Star
They're
player
doing.
Rinaldi and Alfie.
They're doing
Okay,
what
so
I did
we
for
got-
Vinny.
But
They're doing the name brand
they're
thing.
just
where-
who they think the best player in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
If it was who I think the best player in the world is, I'd go Mbappe first as well. But it was performers. That's why.
Yeah, and that's the thing, yeah. But I think kind of more 8th, 7th is kind of more of a fair reflection.
Yeah,
in my
look at
opinion.
that,
I think.
yeah.
I just think it was.
I agree with you. You can put him anywhere in the top 10.
I'm not mad at it.
because his first half was so bad. His first quarter was so bad. But I don't see you have anyone having him first. I think having him first is a bit crazy. It's a bit disrespectful to the other guys that should.
Yeah, the other players that we're gonna get to
Yeah,
eventually.
I think it's a bit disrespectful.
I mean, sorry.
I was just gonna say the guys that had him first, they didn't have Pedri in their top 10 either.
They did, but they had
they did.
one had Mbappe at first and Pedri at 10th. So there's your.
Who was that? Was it Rinaldi or Stars?
Rinaldi.
Yeah, there you go.
Of
course it's Rinaldi.
Rinaldi does it by FIFA ratings.
Yeah,
One thing
yeah.
I had Mbappe at first and Pedri not even in his list.
That's Alfie, innit?
There's the correlation.
Yeah, that's Alfie.
So there's your
That's
correlation.
Alfie. He didn't pack him in Ultimate Team.
That's what it
why.
was. Yeah, he doesn't get a good.
He didn't
card.
get too many. Yeah.
Yeah. Mbappe 3rd for Fuizzi, 5th for Sharky, 3rd for Liban. Star player Rinaldi obviously at the 1st. Liaz and Faisal both had him at 7th. Abs had him at 6th. Shabe had him at 3rd. Chunks had him at 8th. Alfie 1st and AV 4th. So
Yeah, a lot of
the Mbappe
the
one.
mixed reviews with him. I'm
just-
completely
yeah,
fine with
it's
it, but
very
not
mixed.
number one. Not number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Number 1's very interesting because, like I said, it's like that 3 of them had him at first.
He has nothing to warrant being the best player, best performer in this of the season.
But if you're doing the
best
player, then
but best player, I feel like he's undoubtedly number 1 player in the world.
cool. That was time.
No,
It's making my
They
video
went
one
to
look
text
even
message,
crazy. I can't
That's what
even-
it is.
I'm looking at my video one now. Like,
he's looking at his Vinny one like, what the hell?
what was I thinking, bro? No, that one really like I led heavy with like the name brand bias.
I
and,
hear
like,
it, I hear it.
I love Vinny so much. Even when I watch him, even when he's
To be
off
honest,
form, I'm like,
when Faisal didn't have him in his list, that kind of helped your case.
it raised alarm bells.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, man, the one guy I needed
I might
me.
be cooked. I might be cooked. And the worst thing is, I fear to hear what he would say if he was actually here.
Faisal, how you want? He'll slap your back.
Wallahi,
Yeah, he'll be doing this.
It's true, man. While he's fasting as well, he'll be stuck.
Well, it's 10 o'clock. He ain't fasting.
Yeah, true.
Woke up fast a long time ago.
But let's get into the podium finish now. In 3rd place, let's see. Everyone has him in. Okay, cool. Interestingly enough, one person that's not on the table has him at 1st. So that's an interesting one. It is Mr. Lamine Yamal.
What number is he? Sorry, third.
Third place.
Third, yeah. I'm happy.
I had him at fourth. You had him at fourth. You had him at fourth. Sorry, you had him at fifth. You had him at fourth. You had him at fourth. The rest of the people that had him in, Fuizi had him at fifth. Sharky had him fourth. Liban had him at second. Star Player had him ninth. Rindy sixth.
Stars has the weirdest list.
Elias fourth. Faisal fifth. Abs is the one who had him at first.
And do you want to laugh as well?
Shabe had him at fifth. Chunk sixth. Alfie seventh. And Avi third.
Today at 4:30, I messaged Stars. I said, "Yo, can I see your top 10 list?" Because I already sent it to you, innit? So I was interested to see his one because his one.
So you're cheating.
It's always not cheating, but he's not on the table, innit? So it's always interesting to see Stars' table compared to your one because if you got a lot similar, you're like, damn, it's not a good top 10.
That's why I looked at his one.
I looked at his one. Then I sent my one, and he said, "Feg," and I said, "What's wrong with mine?" And he said, "It's alright." Now looking at his list, it's a bit. Yours is aight.
His is aight.
Mbappe versus Yamal, what? Ninth,
yeah.
That's crazy,
way
man.
off
He's got what? I think
He has the lowest place.
I think he's got 13 goals, 17 assists.
Yeah.
He's key in so many of their. I think every attack pretty much goes through him.
that guy,
Like Rafinha, as many goals and assists Rafinha has.
He's like the finalizer, isn't
Yeah, he is. It's like he goes, give me the ball, and I'll get the ball to Lewandowski and Rafinha. It's never really the other way around. We've always said it. He's eventually going to turn. I never want to compare him to Messi, but he's going to turn to that Messi role where he becomes a sole playmaker for Barcelona.
Yeah.
I do hope he gets the goals that Messi did, or even a fraction of what Messi was getting, just to show everyone I can be the goal scorer and I can be the playmaker. But I feel like this season, everything goes through him. Yeah. Whether it's the final pass, whether it's the pre-assist like Pedri does.
The fast breaks.
Whether it's the fast breaks,
trademark of this Barcelona football.
And it's ridiculous. And
he just goes up the pitch in like 3 seconds as well.
Like, the whole team does, bro.
And after the Euro campaign he had as well, you're thinking there's going to be this level of expectation. Maybe second season, third season, whatever, teams start to figure him out a little bit. He said, brother, you don't... This is generational. Yeah, you don't know what you're dealing with.
But you know, I'm really happy for Yamal is because he's Lamar.
Bro, I do the same thing.
I do the same thing.
Lamar
because he's got Lewandowski and Rafinha. He doesn't have to give 1,000,000% every game because he knows Rafinha and Lewandowski are there. If he was the sole playmaker, goal scorer, everything, I think it would kind of slow his body down and he'll pick up a lot of injuries.
Hinder him,
it can hinder him a lot. So I'm happy he's got a good reinforcement around him.
And I think even on that, you saw when he was out injured how much different Barca looked in their kind of attacking play. And Rafinha and Lewandowski were still there, but there's just that something missing. And I feel like we're normalizing almost talking about a 17-year-old.
Bro, it's crazy.
Bro, he turned 17 during the Euros, bro.
What you said about Pedri? What were we saying?
Nah, he don't play like he's got it.
No.
No.
Lower.
No.
That's double digits.
No.
That's the
double digits. That's crazy.
That's Russell Westbrook.
That's
crazy.
That's double.
That's triple doubles.
That's crazy.
Yo, that's wrapped around the knee. I got to touch this weapon away.
Tucked into the sock.
Metal detector goes off in the airport.
Beep. Yeah, I am excited to see you today. Yeah, and he's looking at a left back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bro, we ain't seen cojones like this.
No, it's crazy, bro.
We ain't seen it. Like, and the thing is, we've seen Mbappe in the more recent years and things like that, and we're still shocked. We've seen Pedri in the past couple of years, obviously, when he came through.
Not at 17. Not at 16.
Yeah, no, we didn't see anyone at 17. Just only Mbappe,
Turning 17, and then you're still doing it at this level. And it's like, in the last round of the Champions League, that coming in off the left, just... it's almost become trademark, that little float across to the back. And now he's just said, no, it ain't never going to be back close. Top ends.
Get ready for it.
I said, hey.
Even that last goal he scored in the Champions League, I generally thought he was crossing it. Now he went
And the way he just curled, just knuckleballed to Rafinha's feet.
Just the technique.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And he's got Trivela trait, which
yeah.
Trivela trait as well. He's got everything.
That people take until 25 and 30 to unlock.
He's like the poster boy of, I was saying this with Cam's, Neymar's having his babies coming through in football. Yeah. Like, we always see players influenced by the previous generation, and we always talk about legacies and everything like that. And I think for the first time now, with the likes of Musiala, Doué, Yamal, we're seeing guys who pretty much idolize Neymar, and you're seeing that in their play. When we talk about a lot of these players, they're the ones that currently, they bring the joy to the game. And I'm like, Yamal kind of almost looks up to him to a T, and brother,
I call it university, man. They're just going to they went to the University of Neymar.
Neymar University.
There's a lot of them. Yeah,
Right
it's
now,
nice.
Lamine Yamal's getting
Yeah.
the first class honors, by the way.
Neymar never
And he
got the
doesn't
Ballon
go to his
d'Or.
9 AM.
Neymar
Yeah,
never
he
got
doesn't
the
go
World
to
Cup.
to, man.
He doesn't need to go to his 9
But I think it speaks to like we always talk about so much about like the achievements and things like that, and Neymar doesn't have the World Cup. Neymar doesn't have the Ballon d'Or, and I think for so much of the conversation, and including me, I've said like, oh, that might negate his legacy, and he might not be sat at the greats, but. The greater thing is actually impacting generations like this, where the next gen are looking at it like, bro, every single one of them is doing a celebration, one of his celebrations.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Do you know, I'd love.
fairs, man. You know what? I kind of maybe even slept on that a little bit. I'm looking at it like,
I
fairs.
feel like Neymar's maybe a little bit before your generation, like after your generation as well. For what I'd
Yeah.
say, like he's my generation.
Yeah, 100%. And that was my annoyance with him. It was like, yo, I'm seeing Ronaldo put the dog work in.
Yeah,
You're
so it's
taking your
different.
birthday.
Yeah, it's crazy. I watched-
party with your sister.
Bro, I watched Prime
He
Neymar.
ain't serious, man. He don't want it. Like, oh, see us. Like, Messi had to take growth hormones to live this game.
Yeah.
You don't want this Neymar.
Yeah.
Like, and that was kind of my issue.
That
But
was
I'm
a
looking at it now,
frustration.
I'm like, you know what? Sometimes it's got to be like Ronaldinho. Just let a man enjoy it.
Yeah.
Listen, and you know, even
you know, it'd be
Hazard
beautiful.
different. You know what I mean?
You know, it'd be beautiful if I think Lamine Yamal will win the Ballon d'Or. I think it's
Of course,
it's written that he's going to win it. It'll be Neymar,
Neymar
giving
presenting
it,
it.
present it to him, but that'd be nice because I feel like that'd be a beautiful
that'd be
moment.
nice.
And
Even that
Neymar
picture
getting,
there they
like,
took,
some funny made up legacy award.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do you know how they always do that?
like the Yashin Award.
I don't even know.
The only Brazilian to play for both Barcelona.
the Jairzinho award or something, the Garrincha award or something. Yeah.
And the criteria is just him. He's not eligible to win that award. But that is Lamine Yamal deserves
What a
his credit
player.
and respect
What a player.
for this. And now we're in the top 2 now. This is an interesting top 2, and
It's
people
a very
are
interesting top
It's
two,
a
you know.
very interesting
I think
top
it's
2.
mixed
I'm considering my number one.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
the
thing.
thing.
Who's
I'm
left?
actually curious.
because they're both having
Incredible
unreal
season.
seasons.
Incredible.
Unreal seasons. Yeah.
But at second place,
I think I know who's second.
it is Mr. Rafinha.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that all of us on the table had him at second, except for this brother over here, man.
And, bro, with
Who had him
Rafinha,
at 5th?
I understand it being first. It's such a crazy toss-up between them.
Because I had Pedri.
Oh, I'm saying
and
between them,
Yamal.
like you had it.
I had Pedri and
Yeah,
Yamal
yeah.
over him. I had Pedri third.
Can we say who's
Yamal
first? I think
fourth.
everyone knows who's first.
Well, yeah, Rafinha at second, Salah at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the number one.
Not
Let's
for
start
you,
with
not for
Rafinha first, and then we'll go to Salah later. But
Yeah.
quickly with Rafinha, obviously we all had him at second, except for you had him at 5th. Fawzi had him at second. Sharky had him at first. Liban 5th. Star player third. Rindy second. Leah second. Faisal second. Ab second. Shaib first. Chunk second. Alfie 9th. And IAD first. So I'm not gonna lie. He is kind of like the general consensus of being second, to be fair.
Can we just stop naming Alfie in these videos?
Yeah. Alfie.
I feel like it's getting to that point. Haaland, Rafinha 9.
Even with Salah, doesn't even have Salah in his list.
Hey,
Yeah, can you just
Read
Alfie's list.
What's Alfie's list?
Read Alfie's list.
By the way, a lot of people just know him. We know him as his first name,
Yeah.
but it is Extantino on YouTube. Yeah,
Yes.
he's a FIFA YouTuber, and for him to not have Rafinha in his, for him to have Rafinha 9th is ridiculous. I might go to his yard.
He might. Where does he live?
I can't say.
Mbappe at first. He had Mbappe at first. Vinny at second. Salah at third. Van Dijk 4th. Jude 5th. Valverde 6th. Lamine 7th. Dembele 8th. Rafinha 9th. And Haaland 10th.
So Haaland, Rafinha.
Haaland,
yeah, it's close. Like them two are close.
Yeah. Interchangeable.
Yeah, they're interchangeable. Come on, man.
It's a tough one to be.
Yeah. Both left-footed. I don't know.
It's a toss-up.
Goodness me.
But yeah, Rafinha is, like I said, the general consensus is with him being second, to be fair. Only 3 people had him at first. AV, Shahaib, and Sharky.
I'm not mad at him being
So they're
first.
doing Arsenal prop. They're doing Arsenal
Yeah.
prop again.
Yeah, no. Oh, bro, 27 and 20 in 42
Not gonna
games.
lie, his stats
27
are
goals and 20
ridiculous.
assists.
He
is
has been
ridiculous.
so
Out of
decisive
position.
as well.
Out of position. He's playing on a side. Obviously, he's his favoured side. But when we saw him in the Premier League, it was cutting. Now it's go down the line. And he's still doing it going down
He
the
went
line.
from Premier League Leeds to Ballon d'Or Barcelona. Like, it's
What
crazy.
story? What story?
What a crazy
I
story
respect
for
it
him.
so much.
I think it's that new haircut as well because it sort of reminds me of you seeing Spider-Man in Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like at the end, Miles sees his like other self and as the Prowler.
yeah.
Whatever it's called.
The Prowler.
The Prowler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reminds me of that character where he's just like he's ruthless.
Yeah.
He's a killer. He's a killer.
What was that stat where he's like,
He ain't watched Spider-Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Invincibles. Have you watched Invincible?
Yeah.
Yeah. The boys.
Well, the Arsenal.
boys.
The Arsenal.
He's not
right?
cartoon.
No, watch the boys.
Okay.
Boys,
Of course he's watched the boys.
That's
He
grown men.
likes that kind of
That's
stuff.
grown men TV, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's not animated.
I'm not watching kids TV.
No.
It's Disney Plus.
Well, watch.
Disney and that.
We shouldn't even be talking about random shows, but watch Invincible on Amazon Prime.
Nah, do you know what? I watched Invincible. I watched episode 1. The father bodied all his the son's brethren for no
Smoked
reason.
everyone.
I said, you know what? There's gruesome and then there's just weird and
It's a
fucked up.
great pilot
you know?
episode. Great pilot episode.
This is too taps. I said,
Great episode.
But Rafinha this season has been absolutely incredible.
Do you know what? It's the amount of decisive goals he's scoring as well, like equalising goals, winning, game-winning goals as well. And
was it
for me, I think the only
70%,
reason why I
something?
kind of had him fifth was I do feel like Pedri is the needle mover and does make the team tick. And I feel like a lot of the times Yamal almost is the guy that makes things happen in that final third, and then Rafinha or Lewandowski will get on the end of it. And then he's kind of like the finisher. And this season, I think everybody's almost been caught so off guard by the fact that he's finishing at such a high clip in the Champions League, in the league, in El Clasico, all the big games he's turning up. And it's like, you know what?
Final.
Give him his dues.
Yep.
And I think that's the long, almost over drawn out thing. It's like, nobody expected Rafinha to be this player. Even like the best version of him at Leeds, I don't think anybody expected.
I don't think Rafinha expected this.
He's like, oh, I'm having
I
an
think
unreal.
it also speaks to his character though, because when he came to Barca that first season, bro, he was going to get sold off. I think the very next year.
Yeah.
Then he had to kind of adapt a different role. Now he's the captain of the team. For goodness' sake,
That's
like
the thing, yeah, he's
it speaks a lot of kind of how much. And to do that at a club like Barcelona, where
So impressive.
once you lose the crowd, you're done for.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Ballon d'Or conversations, captain's armband, turning up in the Champions League. So massive credit where it's due. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you know what makes it even madder for me is like last summer we were talking about Nico Williams is in there over Rafinha. Rafinha, nah, he's not the guy. Williams is going to take over him. He dropped that Instagram comment, unlike Vinny's tweet, and he took that personally.
What was the Instagram comment?
Bro, he commented like some guy, like some Barcelona fan posted a
Oh,
edit
yes,
of,
I know what you're talking about.
Williams in the Barca kit.
Yeah.
He commented something like,
I know what you're talking about,
don't, like you'll see or something like that.
Yeah.
And we did see.
And we did see.
But do you know what's crazy? That headache for Brazil, whether it's coming up this summer or
World Cup next year.
with the World Cup next year, it's going to be a headache because they got Neymar's going to force himself to play that World Cup. Then you've got Vinny, then you've got Rafinha, then you've got
Cunha.
Rodrigo.
That's easy though. Neymar.
Then you got
false
Martinelli.
No, but it's like
there.
who do you?
Got Cunha.
For me,
Was it we got Jaden McDaniel?
you go back to Brazil 2002. 4-2-2-2.
But this is not
And you
4-2-2
play
football day.
22
Yeah, bro,
years
come on,
ago.
man. This is not 4-2-2-2. This is not
Samba
Dunga.
boys,
No.
you set the tone, yeah?
this is not these
You're gonna
days.
let man dictate to you, or you gonna let them dictate?
It's not those days. It's not those days.
You're pulling up with Vinny
Yeah.
and Neymar in the 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rodrigo.
Who's there,
on
Gilberto
the
Silva?
right? Like he's been playing for Madrid. Rafinha on the left.
Who's there, Gilberto Silva, that's going to stay there the whole game?
Douglas Luiz.
What do you mean? You got Bruno G right there. Bruno G's right there.
And Edison from Atalanta.
There you go.
That's
Hey.
Edison, I hear, not Bruno G.
Aye.
Not doing the Gilberto Silva role. I'm talking about that, just that
doing that
destroyer.
role.
That
That's
destroyer.
it.
Yeah,
Them
yeah.
two just
That
there.
Edison, I hear. Bruno G, I want him for that Brazil team. Get a little bit higher up for me.
Man, tell Paqueta to kick rocks.
Oh, no,
He's
Paqueta.
kicking rocks.
Yeah.
Paqueta's band's coming soon, bro.
Get Paqueta out
I
of
know
there.
he'd be trying to do this deeper role, like
Yeah.
you know, hey, let me get in the team, please.
No.
Meche.
No.
He gets involved in the dancing as well.
No,
Little
he's trying to do the little. I'm the DJ, guys. Come on.
Hey, I need hey, morale.
He holds the JBL,
bro.
Hey guys, I play for West Ham. Everyone's looking at him from Rowan G. Like, West Ham? London Stadium.
West who? But yeah, shout out to Rafinha. I know Barca fans probably would have had him at first in our list, but we couldn't overlook the main man being Mohamed Salah.
Mohamed?
I had him at first. Elias had him at first. Luke had him at third. Fu had him at second. The rest of the boys that had him in, Fuizi had him at first. Sharky had him at second. Liban had him at first. Star Player had him at second. Rinley had him at first. Lias first. Faisal first. Abs third. Shabe second.
Abs fed.
Shock horror. Chunks first, AV second, and Alfie ninth. But other than that, it's been a great. I'm joking.
I reckon Busquets will put Eden Hazard first now.
Oh, no, he would,
If
he
he just
would.
came out of retirement now
he
and
would.
played for like Belgium second division, so I think
It's
Eden
just because he
Hazard
doesn't pass that
Yeah,
test.
he doesn't
look
swivel
good on the ball.
He doesn't turn. He doesn't. You know, he's got the Congolese hips. He ain't got
At
that.
some point, like you've just got to learn to appreciate players for what they are.
No, do you know what I like about
We gotta stop
with Abs? He's
forcing-
he has started to give in to Salah.
No,
He's
but
giving him his props.
like in general.
Yeah,
nowadays,
he's been
I feel
giving
like
him his
football
props.
Discourse is always like they've either got to pass the eye test or you don't rate them as a
Yeah.
footballer. And I'm like, bro, there are players who simply can't do what you're asking those technical players to do.
Yeah.
And I actually rate that those players are still able to find a way to be efficient. Like, that's why I'm a huge fan of Thomas Muller. I'm like, brother, he was never the quickest, he was never the strongest, he was never the most technical, his first touch is bad, but he found a way to make himself a 20-20, 15-15 every single season, one of the all-time top goal scorers. And I'm like,
he invented his own role.
Yeah,
the
and I feel like-
Ramdeuter. You know that one?
no, FM heads will know that for sure.
Yeah, is that what did they name that after
The
him?
Ramdeuter.
I know that role, yeah.
And I feel like
I know that
Salah
role,
gets
yeah.
hit with so much with that because he's always been compared to like the Eden Hazards, the Messis of the world, and it's like, why can't we just appreciate him for what he's kind of doing? And you look at kind of this season, bro, the assist numbers he's putting up, he's looking like he could potentially break the Premier League.
He's
assist
breaking
record.
both of them.
He could be breaking his own Premier League 31 goal potentially.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you could say Champions League, maybe there's questions there. You could say maybe
Carabao
in
Cup
the
final.
Carabao Cup, there's questions there. But I still think in terms of pound for pound, Liverpool would not be in the position they're in this season.
Hell to the
I
no,
think
they'll
he
be.
has like 60% of their goals, if I'm not mistaken.
They've got 69 goals in the Premier League. Salah's contributed to 44 of them, whether it's a goal or assist.
That's
Someone do the maths in the
insane.
comments. I'd love to know what the percentage is of that.
Come on.
But yeah,
I think it's the first half percent maybe.
it might be the first half of the
And I
half.
think
The first half of the first half of the first half
Yeah,
of
it
the
might
first
be
half
that, it
percent.
might be.
And I think one thing that gets massively overlooked as well is the fact that at this age, he's still doing it, bro. 32, still pushing
Battling
on
up the Premier
another
League.
level, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? While set next man, retired. Set next man, Saudi.
Do you know what's crazy about him?
MLS.
He's got 22 assists in all comps, but the attackers he has in his front line are not contributing to any of them.
Horrendous.
Nunez, Jota, and Luis Diaz, they're not scoring at all,
Yeah.
and he's still got
when
22
he has a
assists.
bad game, Liverpool overall is
Yeah.
like. just
So
can't
imagine
get
if he
anything
had
going.
even a competent striker.
Yeah.
Someone that's got 15 goals in the league. So 15 goals in all comps so far. He would have contributed to at least 10 of his goals because he puts the ball into those dangerous areas. And like FaZe was always said, you want a goal scoring season from him, you get a goal scoring season from him. You want a playmaking season from him, you get a playmaking season from him. You want a winning season from him, you get the winning season.
They got all three this season.
Yeah, and he's getting all three this season. And like, I think obviously the PSG double game, the 2 legs against PSG, the Carabao Cup final, I think it's a big slight on his Ballon d'Or.
Just the black mark.
I fully
Yeah,
agree.
it's
Fully
a
agree.
big
You
slight
can't- you can't dodge that.
because I watched those 2 legs. That first leg, he was
Mendes
absolutely he was non-existent. Nunes Mendes locked him up, and even going forward, Nunes Mendes was better than him. So those 2 legs are going to be a big slight on him when it comes to the end of the year. And whatever teams won the Champions League, whether it's Barcelona, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Real Madrid, whether it's PSG, whether it's any of those teams, and their right winger is up for Ballon d'Or, they're going to look at him and say, "Where was you when PSG played? Where was you when Newcastle took you to Wembley?" That's what they're going to say to him,
Yeah,
and
in
then
those
he
big
can't
kind of
say nothing.
moments,
He can't say nothing about it.
But that's why I feel like almost to solidify that run, if he does go on to break the assist record, for example, get very close to the Premier League goal scoring record, gets 30 plus, I think it almost becomes undeniable.
Yeah.
And especially considering where Liverpool were at the start of the season. New manager coming in, Salah's on his way down, Virgil's on his way down. This is going to be the transition year, and he's kind of been the main battery for them in that attack. So, listen, I don't think you can overlook him this season. And as much as people want to criticize the eye test and things like that, I think he said it best where at this age now, Wenger, he had a conversation with him where he was saying, all right, there might be some games where I'm not active the whole game, but I just need one moment.
Yeah.
And I think
he
we
gets
even
that
saw
one.
that
Yeah, he
against
gets
Man
that.
City, where he was saying to Bernardo Silva, just give me one moment, give me one moment.
Yeah, one.
He got that one.
Like,
Bang.
Like even Cristiano, like bro, from like 2015-16 season onwards, he wasn't aesthetically pleasing on
No.
the eye. He was just a killer. And that never tarnished him. Obviously, he was aesthetically pleasing before and stuff, but like we still have him in the Ballon d'Or debates, and we never used that as an argument against Ronaldo, where he lost that burst of pace. He lost that.
But I feel like so often players get disrespected or not rated because they might not be that kind of shoebox of a technical wizard. And I'm like, do we want all players to just be the same thing coming off our chopping block, and every single one is a technical 5'6" wing wizard?
But it's a lazy argument. It's a lazy argument.
very lazy,
That's
It's a
dead,
lazy
bro.
argument.
I'm like, what is your skill set, and how do you maximize that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he maximizes
And he,
the life out of it.
exactly.
Brother, when we
Yeah.
talk about maximizing every ounce of your ability, no one's done it more.
People
than
say
him.
his dribbling's shoddy and all this kind of stuff. I think his dribbling
effective.
it's effective. It's one of his underrated traits.
The little.
Yeah, the little
You
bit-
don't know because
the
he's
bit
so
patter
quick.
steps, yeah.
You might think he's getting right. He goes,
And then
gotcha.
also, even little things like his strength, his ability, even though he rarely uses his right foot to scare defenders that he's going to go on his right foot, those little things are what makes, I always say it, those little things are the difference between being good and great.
Yeah.
And he has those little things that make him great. And he's obviously now the best right winger to ever play in the Premier League, I think. Do you not think?
Yeah, best winger, I'll say.
But yeah, best winger as well.
yeah.
I think Ronaldo's close because he won the Ballon d'Or in the Premier League. I
But
think
he also played a bit deeper, Ronaldo.
he did play a bit deeper as well,
4-4-2, it's a bit
yeah.
different.
But so that one's a toss up. But I feel like he's the best right winger to ever play in the Premier League.
Yep.
Ronaldo, you could play him on either side. He won the Ballon d'Or on the right, pretty much. So yeah, I feel like Salah is undeniable, and people that are eye test merchants, he proves them wrong.
You know what they say?
Proves them wrong every game.
You know the problem with the eye
yeah.
test is even stupid people have eyes.
Yeah, I like that one.
That was be their ball on Twitter.
But yeah,
Genius.
And I just
I should
want
have
to
kept that for you. I would have kept that.
Nah,
How Liban took Cam's one. I would have taken
I
it.
But
guess
you don't do
man.
interbreeding. You don't do
I don't
interbreeding.
do
You don't do interbreeding stuff.
I just want to add. Can I just add something? on
Go
Salah
ahead.
quickly?
Go ahead.
Like you were talking about, the PSG game could hinder, and it could in this Ballon d'Or race, but I think it's quite sad because the best example I can compare it to is Messi in the 17-18 season. The guy in that whole campaign had like 77 goal contributions, and he placed 5th in the Ballon d'Or because they underperformed specifically in Europe that year, losing to Roma. And Messi didn't have a great campaign in the Champions League. But I just think it's so unfair to judge a player's season,
On Europe.
especially that impressive of a season, based off a few games in Europe. And I know all eyes are on the Champions League, and I know it's the best club competition, but I wouldn't personally use that as an argument against Salah to not win the
You know what it
Ballon
is?
d'Or.
I think it comes down to like when they're splitting hairs for the winners. So for example, if Rafinha goes on to win the league there, Salah goes on to win the league here, and they're both putting exceptional numbers down, then it becomes, okay, what do they do in Europe?
Yeah,
And then if you see Rafinha's gotten to the final and every round he scored, but then Salah, when those moments came and he didn't score, that's kind of almost like the hair that you split.
I get
and
that
when
as
you're
well.
talking about kind of the top 1%, you're going to use anything to kind of try and split it. Like I remember the Haaland year for me was the one where I was like, I can't believe Messi got that year.
Oh, yeah,
I want
yeah.
a treble, yeah.
Like that was one I'm genuinely like, yo, in 5, 7, 8 years time, we're going to look back and like, how the hell did Haaland not get a Ballon d'Or that
Yeah.
year? It's,
Yeah.
Oh, Messi, yeah, World Cup. That was in the year before, by the way. Yeah. But, another conversation for another day. 555 million.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But that is the top 10 best performers in the world so this season. Let me go through the list one more time. In 10th place was Bellingham. 9th was Valverde. 8th was Vinny Jr. 7th was Harry Kane. 6th was Ousmane Dembele. 5th was Pedri. 4th was Mbappe. 3rd was Yamal. 2nd was Rafinha. And first in our overall combined list was Mohamed Salah. So he deserves a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I've got something for the 1%ers.
Go for it.
It's the everyone that's still here with us currently right now. I want you to comment SDSFC.
come on. Green
And-
hearts.
and
green
hopefully-
batteries,
Hopefully,
green dragons.
you're there on Monday, 24th of March.
Yeah.
If this is out then.
Yeah, it's out tomorrow.
Okay. Monday, 24th March. Hopefully, you're there supporting us.
And we're going to beat John Terry's team. We're coming for you. Come on! Ball league!